Greetings, MechWarriors. I am Darren. That is Matt, and this is the October devlog for MechWarrior Online. Very good to see you all. We have multiple topics to talk about today, obviously, being a devlog. The first thing we're going to get into, though, is maps. And it's not going to just be Matt and I discussing maps. Matt, who do we have here to discuss maps with us?
Well, Francois is going to be joining us in a moment, and we're going to run through some exciting stuff coming up for December. So
Absolutely.
let's just roll right into that because
Let's
it's
do it.
a really cool talk, and I want you guys to see this stuff right now. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time to talk about maps. One of my favorite things in with what we've been doing with MechWarrior Online over the last year, revitalizing some of the old maps that need some work, and then we'll get into potentially a new map coming up. So first, we're going to talk about Verdian Bog. This was released in the October 19th patch, just a week ago, a little bit over. And this is a fan favorite map. It's one of my favorite maps. When it released, I loved it. I still love it. So I know that there's been concern out there from some of you in touching Verdian Bog that too much would change because it is such a beloved map. Well, don't worry, not a lot changed. We have Francois to talk about what did change and also what, I don't want to say fixes, but future iterations might contain with Verdian Bog. So, Francois, good to see you, and tell us all about it.
Hey, well, concerning Viridian Bug, it was quite easy. We decided to kind of give a break to players because, first of all, Viridian Bug is also one of my favorite maps, and I didn't see any need to actually add some major changes to the map. So we decided to just add some minor tweaks and open up the eastern corner of the map. In regards to the next iteration of the map, so first of all, we're going to definitely fix the issues that have been mentioned by the community. So, for example, the new stair sections, etc., etc. And then afterwards, we're most likely going to be moving one or two capture points to make sure that we can actually use that new section. Otherwise, it's pretty much only used right now for some flanking action. And that is mainly what I'm thinking that we're going to be doing for Viridian Bog. Sorry about that.
It is a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
A lot of our maps are a mouthful. So, Verdian Bog, awesome map. Great job, Francois, on the touch ups to it. And we look
Thank you.
forward to seeing the future iterations. But speaking of a mouthful and a map name, we're taking a faction play map, which is Hellbore Springs. This biome only exists in this faction play map currently. That biome does not exist, and those assets for that map do not exist in quick play. So what we're doing is, or I shouldn't say we, it's the royal we. What Francois is doing is
Oh, we're a
creating.
team. Come on.
We are a team, and it's a lot of team support. But what Francois is doing is creating a map from scratch based on the Hellbore Springs biome and assets and additional assets. You brought it, you were getting creative here, and I love seeing Francois. I got to say, I love seeing your excitement and enthusiasm for doing essentially a new map. Obviously, this isn't from complete scratch because we're using assets in a biome that exist. But for the people that don't play faction play, for the people that even do play faction play, it will be a new map. So
Oh,
we're very excited
100%
about
it's
that.
a new map, Darren. It's just using existing assets, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's
Well,
talk
we're
is
using
cheap, right? Let's show
Let's
them
look
what
at it.
Francois has been working on here.
we're
Absolutely.
essentially using the old map, but we're actually revamping it because many points in the map weren't favorable to quick play. Mainly, my main problem was the fact that the whole centerpiece is kind of blocked off. So what we've done is we've lowered the main center area, and then now it's going to be the centerpiece where you actually have most of the combat. I really haven't touched on the elevations on the sides of the map because what I really wanted was to allow the players to balance brawling, sniping, and lurming. So as you can see, there are going to be many, many, many areas for players to actually get away from lurms, get away from snipers. Yes, some points are extremely opened up, such as the center platform in this structure. However, when you look at the surroundings, even if you wanted, it's still opened up. So this area, for example, is proper for brawler in the centerpiece, and then for snipers on the surroundings. But then again, these snipers are also opened up to everybody else. So it's kind of a big melting pot of every single strategies that you could get in the map. and it favors not only one type of play.
I just want to point out too that everything you're seeing in these screenshots, guys, is WIP, like work in progress.
Yeah.
And you're catching a glimpse of
And
some of the
the
debug
FPS
information,
the FPS
that
doesn't.
Francois. Yeah, and that's not that FPS is indicative of what he sees in the editor. The editor runs much slower than the actual game, and so you'll see like little debug things here, and that's why. In this screenshot, Francois, you're just kind of showing more of an overview. Is this the more the center point of the map? You said
No, that's just the northern side of the map.
northern side of the map. But
Yes.
all right.
And
Well, I'm gonna go on to the next screenshot here, and you can give us a sense of what this is. The thing I'm really noticing about this map is how much verticality there is, but that the verticality has lots of play spaces in them.
Mhm.
Especially
There's
when
that
I
word. How many times are we going to say verticality in this?
I wanted to
vlog,
be the
looking at
first
this
one to
map?
say it, so
I know, because now
At
at
we're
least
you're
we're not
just
taking
you.
a shot for every one of them, you know?
But it's totally true. Look, I mean, look at this shot. That rock formation or whatever you got going on over on that left side. I don't know, man. I'm just so excited to play this map.
Well,
I see so many options. Like you were saying, that if you're a brawler, if you're long range, you have options here, and I love
but
that.
also
Looks
for
really
light
cool.
mix, I really
Hmm.
feel like the use of jump jets doesn't grant you immediate safety. So, for example, in this screenshot in the center piece, well, in the center area, you can actually see that there's going to be two layers of verticality. You're going to have the first part where there's like a flooded plain, but then over it, you actually have these mushrooms made out of stone, from which the player can actually be able to butt shot the other guy that is underneath him, and then jump jet from one mushroom to the other. And these mushrooms are actually overlooked by two plateaux from the left and the right.
so they can
And
get all the
then
way up there, Francois, on top of those
yeah,
mushrooms.
people are going to be able to go there. Of course, you're not going to be able to get on the outside of the map. But then again, I'm not going to give you any invisible walls or invisible blockers. So if you can actually get on top of these mushrooms at the very top of these plateau, I'm fine with this. But then keep in mind that the sides of the map will definitely be uh, invisible walls because
Yeah,
for the sake
the
of
play
not
space
having
still is in effect.
exactly, like in the play space, I want to make sure that everybody can use whatever you have at your disposal, but then don't go outside of the play space because I'm already giving you a lot.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's go to the next one.
Cool.
Just beautiful,
So this
Francois.
is just another screenshot from the other side, through which you can actually see one of the capture point right inside of the middle of the screenshot.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be one of the point of view that players are going to have as they get into that point from the right side of the map.
Right on.
Is this lighting the lighting we're going to see on live right
This
now?
is still work in progress.
Yeah.
This is the lighting that we had for Hellebore Springs.
Right.
So we'll have to see what is the best lighting to make sure that we have like the best ambience. But this is still a work in progress. Like I
It's
said.
looking pretty cool to me, so that's why I was wondering whether it was going to be.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna
They're
be
going to
fun.
tweak
There's
it a
still
bit.
a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Yes. Well, yeah. There's so much work to be done. Yes.
We should
And this,
we should point out that this is not coming out in November.
yes.
This
No,
map
it's
is
in
coming out in
December.
December. So when he says there's so much work to be done, right now we'd be wrapping up obviously with November. So he does have the time to continue working on this
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
get it to the point that he wants it.
Is there
Right
anything
on.
else
Let's
you
move.
want to call out on this screenshot, or can I go to the next one?
You can go to the next one.
Okay.
So this is the central area. That's where you're going to have the domination point. That's going to be most likely either on the center or the bottom. This is up to me and the cauldron to decide what is going to happen here. So in this section, you're going to have three levels of verticality. You're going to have the lower sides. You're going to have the plateaus. You're going to have the secondary floor of the platform, which is more of a medium to light environment friendly area because it's extremely tight. I've worked with the metrics, allowing me to go with a king crab or an annihilator, but the problem is that it's really tight. So mediums and light mix are going to be really fine with it, but assaults might want to prefer to go on the first floor. You don't really see it well, but connecting from the central part of the station to the right, there's actually a tunnel that goes underneath the mountain on the
Oh,
right
wow.
hand part of the screenshot. Yeah. So now we're gonna have like many access points to this point, and hopefully players are gonna be happy with this because there's a tons of ramp. There's a ton of stuff that helps you navigate and go back quickly into the action. And I made sure to create an environment that was going to be also promoting snipers, as long as brawlers, harassers, and lerms. My main goal today was to create like an environment that was going to be able to allow all playstyles, because this is
Yeah.
what is
Now,
best. So, for example, HPG is a good example of a good success. HPG is really fun because you can play a sniper, you can also play a brawler, and then you also can play a harasser. So that's something that's quite interesting. And I also thought about Rubillet Oasis.
Rubelite
Um,
Oasis. Yes,
yes, I'm French Canadian. I
it's
don't know
okay.
how to speak
I was just
English, so
translating.
that's my bad. But yeah, and I was thinking basically that it would be interesting to have like a map where verticality is really present, because most of our maps are usually horizontally built. So this one is going to be more of a, a vertical one where you have plenty of access. The use of jump jets, which we've recently buffed, is going to be huge in this map. So it might really influence some different playstyles. So that will be really, really, really interesting to see.
Francois, you were saying that there's a lot of verticality, but you also
Oh yeah,
pointed out that when you're higher up, you want to provide cover to the people who are lower down. So let's show in
yeah,
this
definitely.
screenshot.
Um, so this is why I'm going to create like a partial cover. So for example, the lilies that you can find in Viridian Bog, they're a good example of like partial cover. Basically, they're going to hide you from overlooking mechs, but they're not going to give you any cover. This can be seen into this screenshot where you're going to have like the foliage of the tree that is going to be used as a partial cover. Yes, you're going to still retain the hard cover from the tree trunk, but then again, it's also going to be helping you to move stealthily throughout the areas without having to, create hard cover by using like ledges and stuff like that. So I really wanted to go with an environment that with the terrain, you're going to have verticality, but you're also going to have a lot of cover without abusing and creating a terrain that wouldn't be really realistic.
Cool. I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
the
this
next
looks good.
screenshot. Yeah, because the next screenshot kind of illustrates that point as well here.
A lot
Yes.
of cover and a lot of options. I typically play medium range mechs. I can brawl. I don't usually use snipers, but I'm seeing a lot of options for my play style. A lot of people have been, making comments on some of the recent changes to maps, and sometimes they think it favors one or the other, brawling or recently more sniping. However, I do think that there's ways both on HPG, Canyon, Polar,
Oh, even
etc.
caustic. I mean,
Yeah,
caustic. Just try the
absolutely
middle.
caustic as well.
Go from one rock to the other and
Mhm.
brawl your
You-
way in there. I mean, people think that you're gonna die if you go there, but you're only gonna die if like you don't try it.
I think people make, honestly, I think people just make comments based on a few matches or whatever sometimes, and that's fine. That's their experience or whatever. I do believe that you are paying attention to all play styles when you're doing these maps, and obviously, it's not just you, right? You're working with
Oh, but
the
we're definitely
Cauldron.
gonna rework them either way. So like,
Yeah, but I'm
we
seeing a
to be
lot of
honest,
options on this map, and I love
yeah.
that.
But this map's gonna be great. This map,
Yeah.
I think that this map's gonna be great for all playstyles, and we're making sure that it's going to be avoiding most of the error that we've seen in the past. So like too many points, too many areas where you don't have any access points, and it gets really boring for slow mechs to actually get back into the position. And we really wanted to add more cover without actually going too insanely into adding structures and to adding pieces of art. So that's why we're relying now more on the biomes that were at our disposal, especially since it's so cool. I love purple.
It's all,
Yeah, I've always really liked the palette of this map in faction play. The combination of the
yeah.
browns and the purples, but I've also noticed that you've pulled in some assets from other maps. So I see like the tourmaline rocks there. I see
Yeah.
HPG assets in there. I
Yeah,
see some
I
of
mean,
the
it's how you got to do it. I do have like what I call Lego blocks, and I'm essentially rebuilding something out of other assets. Hopefully, in the future, we'll have new assets. But then again, that's only a hypothesis. We don't know. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we certainly have a lot of things in the game already, and the fact that you're getting to mix and match them in a new map. And I got to ask you, Francois, like you've spent the last kind of half a year working on like revamping existing maps, and some you've like just completely changed the play spaces overall. But now you're getting to do something a bit more from scratch and a bit more from your own kind of like your own planned and thought out from the beginning. What
Mhm.
Does this one feel a lot different to you? I mean, I know we have 2 months. We gave you an extra month of before it gets released. Well, not gave you an extra month. It requires that extra time in order to develop that map, right? So, are you
To be
enjoying this
honest,
more?
I think so. Yes, especially with the biome that I have at my disposal. Like it's super cool to create like an environment that is brand new, and also to create something that's going to be a kind of mix of all the best locations. So, for example, you're going to have a mix of like Rubelite, HPG, and Canyon Network. So that's super cool. And I mean, I really, 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 really love Viridian Bog. So I was trying to also catch a little bit of a glimpse of the feeling that you get into Viridian Bog. But also, I wanted to bring something that was going to be new to the players. And that's, for me, that's the main source of excitement. Like,
Yeah,
creating something that is completely new and making sure that when the players are going to go in there for the first time, they go like, holy shit, this is fucking great. I love this. Look at
yeah,
the plant. Look at the trees.
yeah. I'm gonna go to
It's
the
gonna be
last
nice.
screenshot now. Because the last screenshot has some writing on it and some comments and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too.
basically the last screenshot was a kind of sneak peek of the current stuff that I'm working on. So as I was saying earlier, this is the view that we kind of saw in the very first screenshots, where you had on the left side of the screenshot that big mountainous plateau with the waterfalls at the back. So this is the new area that I'm working on. It's going to provide a lot of vantage points so that Team A can actually counter Team B and vice versa, because the capture point is going to be in the center. Um, so essentially, in this area, you're going to have 3 levels of verticality. You're going to have the plateaus, you're going to have the plains, and then on the first floor, which is kind of like you have the ground floor, then you have the first floor, which will be like the top of the mushrooms, and then you'll have the second floor, which will be like the top of the plateaus. So this is going to be really, really interesting, because the 2 plateaus left and right also overlook the centerpiece that is in the middle of the map. So you're going to have a lot of control, but at the same time, there are so many big trees, so many high vertical rocks that players will not get learned to death. You can quickly find cover, you can quickly evade damage, and there's many areas where you can climb back up to vertical space or use your jump jets in order to actually harass the big guys.
Very cool, very cool. So, where the waterfalls are, that's not a spawn point. That's are the spawn
No, that's
points
not a spawn point. The
are
spawn points
not.
are going to be located generally in the east part and the west part, and they are both going to be located close to a first capture point. Then afterwards, the 3 other capture points are going to be spread along the southern, northern, and middle part of the map. So
Speaking of spawn points,
the screenshot. Come again?
I was just going to say, speaking of spawn points, the group spawn points have been very popular, and it's
Yeah.
cool to
Well,
kind
I
of
mean,
be
it
going.
never really made any sense that like we had like but that's in my mind, because if you
Yeah,
think about it, you go on a planet, you go on an offensive operation. It would be weird to actually split out your forces if you really don't know what's going on ahead of you. You know?
I think I think reality versus video game, who knows, right? But definitely in MechWarrior Online, I receive a lot of feedback on a positive response on the
Well,
group
it's
spawn
fun
point.
because you see all the mechs. Like
I
it's
mean,
fun to see the
ultimately,
different mechs for people.
absolutely. There's multiple reasons why it's a good thing. One is because you get to see everybody at the beginning, but also typically when you have separate spawn points, what does everybody do once the match starts? They all group up
Everybody
anyway,
splits
right? So
up.
no, they all group up, right? But now,
Eh,
as it's
Now they all split
grouped,
up.
now they all
yeah,
split up.
Before they used to group up to split up. No, split up.
but that's super cool because you kind of
Yeah.
get like the Thank you. You kind of get the. I got the perfect wife. Look at this. I even
Oh,
got
you
a
lucky
two-handle coffee mug.
son of a gun.
I know this is amazing.
Yeah, man,
Um,
this looks great. I'm super excited about it. Just, from the developer side of me, I'm super excited about it because we're releasing something that's, as
oh, I'm
new as
excited
anything
as
we've
a
done.
fan.
But
Shit, I'm
that's what I
working for
say. On the other
myself.
hand, as a player, I'm super excited because I can't wait to play this map. And
Oh,
that
this
is
is gonna be
coming.
so cool. Trust
This
me.
is
The
December
jump jets.
14th. Yeah.
The jump jets in this map is going to be completely insane. People are because you can actually jump jet from one big platform to the other, and then it's going to be great. Like I'm
Well,
not a jump jet fan, but
I know you're a huge fan of the Roughneck. That's what I was just going to say. What mech are you going to be
ooh.
using on this map?
Well, the roughneck doesn't have jump jets, so that's
I
a
know. That's
problem.
what I'm saying. So, what are you going to use for this?
I'm going to use the BLT at some point when it comes out. Man,
All right.
BLT. That's top
yeah,
secret shit. What are you doing, Francois?
I know.
So
Leak,
this
leak.
the exciting
I'm
thing about this
leaking it.
map, Darren was starting to say, is this one's coming out in December. So this is going to be a nice Christmas present from Francois and us to you guys to enjoy over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah,
Your
I
dream
think we
maps.
have options here, right? We have there's another biome in faction play that hasn't been used in quick play. That's Emerald Taiga.
Yep.
So that's a potential map to bring into quick play. And then we have two other aspects. Francois has wanted to create a map from complete scratch since he's been brought on board, and the community has wanted to have input on map creation as well. So I think we can combine those two potentially next year and do something completely from scratch that is driven by the community and designed by Francois. So I'm looking forward to where we're going with maps. I love the changes that you've made to the existing maps. This obviously is getting me very excited for December. That's the December 14th patch, by the way. And yeah, man, I look forward to the next year in what you're bringing, Francois. You're doing a great job. We love having you here,
awesome.
man.
Thank you.
All right, always a pleasure talking to Francois. He is so passionate about the maps, and I'm just so glad we have him on our team doing what he's doing. And I'm super, super excited to see that map in December and see how everybody reacts to it. Because I kind of feel like this is the first new piece of content that we've had in a while. Besides the variants and all the changes we've been doing this year, this is truly the first new piece of content that you guys get to.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus,
Yeah.
you listening to the way he pronounces words is always fun.
Yes, always.
It was
But
good to have Francois here.
Yeah, let's get into the rest of the devlog here so you guys can
Mhm.
move on with the rest of your day and get back to playing MWO because there's lots of stuff happening right now. So, Darren, why don't you catch us up on what's
Absolutely.
happening in MWO Comp?
MWO Comp right now is very exciting. They had the first round of matches, and they're moving into the finals this month. Of course, the grand finals are in the second week of December. It's either December 11th or 12th. It's kind of slipping my mind right now. Too many dates in my head. I know the patch is on the 14th. But anyway, MWO Comp, what are they doing right now? Well, first of all, the tournament supporter pack. If you haven't seen what the tournament supporter pack is, you can go to MWOmercs.com and check it out for yourself. The supporter pack has all kinds of cool things in it, but one of the things it has in it is the war horn. And some of you realized when we released the war horn with the patch that we reused the war horn audio from, I believe it was a 2016 tournament supporter pack war horn. But we heard you. Some of you did not like that, and we re-recorded it. So there's a new war horn available with the tournament supporter pack with new recordings. It's actually got two lines that it reads, or it amplifies every time you get a kill. And that was thanks to one of our community members, Starwolf, who contributed his voice to that war horn, which is awesome. We love it. He did a great job. So very excited about that. If you haven't checked it out yet, again, go to MWOmercs.com, click on the store, and go to the tournament supporter pack. It's only $10, includes a lot of stuff, which includes a 10% boost to all of your CBIL and experience earnings, last until February 28th. So that's still a long time where you get that 10% boost, which stacks on other boosts. You get a mech bay, you get 1250 MC, you get 30 days active premium time, 100 GSP, and some other things. So go to MWOmercs.com, check out the tournament supporter pack. We've already raised.
It'll also let you qualify for one of the tiers of the reward program too, right? So you can get the urban mech
Very
with that
important.
one. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to miss that urban mech and the loyalty rewards. So check that out as well. We are going to get to the loyalty rewards, but that's a very good point, Matt, that this does qualify you. And also, with every purchase of the tournament supporter pack, 50% of that purchase goes to the prize pool for the tournament. So when we actually sat down to start this devlog last week, it was just over 12,000 was raised, but it's actually almost 13,000 now.
Nice.
So yeah, super excited about that. You guys are awesome, and every purchase you guys make directly contributes to the prize pool. So thank you very much for that. And we hope to see you watching the finals over this coming month and the grand finals in December. You can find out that information on our website.
Yeah, I think we're gonna post like an update
For sure.
that gives you the schedule, so you guys are have all the information you need to make sure you don't miss out on any of this great MWFCS comp 2021 action.
Yeah, it's absolutely, if you want to see top tier play, if you want to have players that you can learn from and improve your own experience, these are the guys to watch. They're incredible. They make it look easy, but it's not. But I always love watching MWO comp.
Cool. All right, let's talk about what else is happening in MWO right now. So obviously, mentioned the annual rewards program. So that is currently running. All the content from that, there's 3 new mechs that are going to be coming, some cockpit items, some decals, and all that stuff is going to be released in November. You've got up till the patch day to qualify with purchases and playing matches, and so we're going to be adding all that content then. So check out the annual rewards program post.
Speaking of the annual rewards, I just, before you move on to the next event, we mentioned the urban mech. Now this is an ECM variant urban mech. Yep. And we also have an Atlas in there if you qualify for that. This is a Jump Jet Atlas. So some really unique and cool mechs. Be sure to go to mwmercs.com, check out the loyalty rewards, see what you're qualified for, and see what you need to qualify for potentially the mechs that you want to get.
And I think we're going to be posting the hard points and loadouts of those mechs soon.
Absolutely.
Also happening right now is everyone's favorite trick or treat loot bag events going on with. You can earn a free Hellspawn mech when you get all your loot bags. You can also qualify for bonus loot bags by purchasing the 2 newest booster packs, and those can also qualify you for that top tier reward in the loyalty reward program. So everything happening right now is kind of intertwined. And we've just released the Hunter booster pack. People are really liking that pack. We made some changes to the loadout for the Stalker. Yep. So people have noticed that and are really digging that mech. And Mark did an amazing job on all the skins and bolt-ons in the mech pack. So check that out. There's challenges, so you can earn extra goodies. And the early adopters are effective up until when, Darren? Next month, November or something?
A month after patch, basically, plus or minus 30 days after the patch came out. So you still have plenty of time to check it out. You can check out people streaming it. You can check out YouTube videos, see if it's what you want. We've since the beginning of doing these booster packs, we've always given you that extra time to decide whether or not you want those early adopter rewards. I do want to real quickly go back to the free mech this month. That's the Hellspawn. The variant is the HSN 8P. It's a great SRM mech. It's a very powerful mech. Great one to have in your inventory if you don't already have it. It's also on the topic of the Hunter booster pack. What we did specifically to the Stalker is we added 2 extra energy hard points to the left torso and the right torso, 2 total, 1 on each side. And then we also increased the engine capacity to 350. So it's a lot faster than what it was going to be previously. So it's a much better mech. People are having a great time with it. So like I said, you can get out there and check people actually using these mechs. Mark did an amazing job with the design. Also, Alex Iglesias as well, of course, always has a hand in the concept art and realizing these mechs that we're doing. But if you haven't seen the camo netting on the Stalker and the I love it, the raft and the motorcycle on the back of it, and of course the space geo that's added to the Phoenix Hawk, it's a great job. Mark is amazing, and I'm super excited to play more of my Hunter booster pack. I haven't done as much as I've wanted to, so I love these new packs we're doing.
And it's a lot of fun coming up with the ideas and the cockpit items and the bolt-ons and stuff, and kind of playing with all the ideas, the theme of Hunter, and then we've just announced the newest Predator pack which
Yeah,
we had some really really cool stuff in it, and some other stuff in the background that we're cooking up. So, um, you know,
absolutely.
maybe you'll be surprised. And as well, I just want to point out, scary good sales are happening right now, and a lot of things that are on sale. If you make those purchases right now, are going to help you qualify for annual rewards levels of various tiers. So check all that stuff out. And
And like you said, it's all intertwined, right?
right
And
now, it is
so,
all intertwined between now and November.
yeah.
And with
Well,
that,
one cool side effect, just real quick, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, of all these events and sales and everything that we have going on right now, the rewards program, is that player count has been up, like really significantly up. We obviously had, the typical summer slump, but coming back from summer and getting into these events, we have carried on basically weekend player numbers throughout the week so far. The numbers are just way up there. So, if you're looking for those quicker queues and more things to do in MechWarrior Online right now, and pretty much through the end of the year, is a great time to be out there. Player numbers are going to be up, and they already are showing that, for over a week. So it's awesome. Great time to come back. Great time to play, and we hope you enjoy everything that we put together. All right, so we've got a lot of stuff happening in the game right now. Hope you can all get out there over the holiday and the coming months and enjoy the hard work that Matt is putting into the events and have a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys out there. So that is what's happening now. Um, Obviously, some of you out there know that we had more on the roadmap for this year that we tried to accomplish that we didn't really get to. We did a lot in 2021. Right now, we got some cool maps, some cool mechs, and some changes to the game, which I've heard from a lot of people that the game is in a great state right now. It's more balanced than it's ever been before, and that is all thanks to your input and the Cauldron and the work that we've been doing over the last year. Currently, we are also working very hard on localization. As some of you know, or for those of you that don't know, we are localizing to Russia. We got a server going up very soon that will hopefully bring more players into the game, more players into the queue, and make it easier for Russians to play and to be able to afford the game. It will be localized to their economy and some special items for them. So we're really excited to bring Russia into MechWarrior Online. That'll be a fourth server. They can opt into the other servers. You can opt into the Russian server. Matt, do you have anything to add to that?
yeah, no, it's pretty exciting. I just got out of a meeting. Darren, you changed your shirt. Now we're actually recording this
Real quick.
the day after we've recorded the other devlog. So there may be some continuity issues, but yeah, I just got out of a meeting where we were looking at the UI, and one of our customer support people speaks Russian, and so he was taking a look at it, and he said it's looking good. We still got some work to do before that's going to be on live, but that was one of the things where it kind of 2021, our plans were like this big, right? And
Hmm.
we started doing those things. We were working on adding new content in mechs and working on the existing content and improving it as much as possible. And then localization kind of sat in the middle of it. And then we had like new features and improving features and a lot more engineering work. And localization was kind of like this hurdle in the middle of it. And
Yeah.
and we're like getting over that hurdle now. So that's really exciting because that frees up. I mean, 2022 can now be about a lot more of those things and new content which players are asking for, and I think that we're delivering that first new piece of content in December as a Christmas present in the map that we just talked about with Francois.
Hmm.
But 2022, Darren, like we had a lot of ambitious goals for 2021, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
we're
we
not
did.
going to do them, right?
No.
They're going to be moved into 2022. So what are some of the things that people would want to know about that we're still looking at doing in 2022, Darren?
Yeah, obviously some of you out there are going to be like, well, what about this? What about this? Don't worry. Because we didn't achieve necessarily everything we wanted to this last year, doesn't mean it's disappearing. It just means it's getting bumped into 2022. As I said previously, I understand potentially disappointment there that we didn't get it this year. I can be impatient as well, or want things to happen faster. But what I get excited about is we're still working on it. And like Matt said, this localization was a little bit of a hurdle to get to some of the bigger stuff, and some of the the stuff that was towards the end of the year in our roadmap. So what we're still looking at in 2022, and we're currently having internal meetings about it every single week. We're meeting with the Cauldron about it. And we're mapping it out, prioritizing everything, but we're still looking at mech rescale. We're looking at skill tree, PSR, matchmaker, solo versus group queue, 8v8 versus 12v12, an event queue system, solutions for faction play, and Solaris. We're looking at the possibility of more new maps, potentially even one from total scratch that is developed with a lot of direct community input. I'm really hopeful that we can make that happen. So is Francois, of course. And then potentially not new only new mech variants, but potentially new mech chassis as well. So there's a lot of stuff still on the plate that we are just moving into this next year, which again, I can understand the disappointment because of the delay, but for me, I'm still super excited because it means we're still working on MechWarrior Online. There's still so many things that are coming to the game that can, just completely change the experience and make it more fun. Our original pillar, making MechWarrior Online more fun for you guys. So that's a lot of stuff, and we're like I said, we're putting that list together. We're prioritizing. We're examining what resources we're going to need and when, and so it's a lot of work, but that's why it's moving to 2022. It's a big year. So I hope 2022 is as exciting for you guys as 2021 has been for MechWarrior Online.
Exactly, Darren. I'm excited. I'm really. It's a lot of fun being in these planning meetings, and getting to get these things that have been on our roadmap for a while. Talk about them in real logistical fashion, figuring out where that effort's going to be and where that will fit in the roadmap. So we're working on that right now. So we don't have a roadmap to present to you guys now as to what order things are going to happen in or what things are going to happen exactly. But we do want to update you guys with that. I don't know when that will be exactly, but like we said, that's all going down right now. We're talking about it. We're talking about resources. We're talking about internal and external resources. We're getting taking all your feedback that you guys already gave us and examining it. Like what are the solutions that we're going to implement for these things? So it's
just so you know, guys. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm just going to say it's exciting for us to do that because we wanted to deliver that this year. We definitely created a good cadence, I think, this year for implementing the changes from Cauldron, getting new maps in there, getting new variants in there. But we just need to take that next step so we can start some development that affects those systems that you guys want to see changed.
And really, localization was the first step of a big step, right? It required us pulling in people that haven't worked on MechWarrior Online in a long time to establish that pipeline and the ability to essentially launch. It's not just launching another server either. It's we're working with the publisher, right? So it's going to be, the Russian server is going to be a little bit different on how that works with the game. So it's a big step, and it's the first step of some major development for next year. And speaking of the feedback, also Matt said we have been paying attention to all your feedback over the year. I still get daily feedback, and I still do read all that. So keep sending in that feedback. If obviously you can go to the Cauldron, you can talk to them. They are a resource if you have questions, if you have comments. In fact, I will say this: there's been things that players have brought to me to take to the Cauldron. I've taken it to the Cauldron, and they're working on implementing this stuff. So this was stuff that you guys came up with, not the Cauldron, that is being examined and hopefully will make it into the game. So your feedback is still vitally important.
Yeah.
So I hope that gets you excited for this next year for MechWarrior Online. It does for Matt and myself, for sure. But otherwise, our population has been booming over the last couple weeks with the holiday sales and events and everything that's going on. And I pretty much just from experience being around this game for 9 years and knowing how the year works out, from here on out, the rest of the year, there's going to be a lot of people playing. There's going to be a lot of events. So the queues should be quicker, and more players out there to play with you guys. So make sure you go to MWOmerch.com, check out all the events and all the sales that are happening right now. Like we mentioned earlier, check out the loyalty rewards and enjoy these coming months, because the holidays are always a fun time in MechWarrior Online.
Definitely. Awesome, Darren. Well, I think it's time for us to get back to work on that roadmap.
I'm going to change my shirt again.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. Bye from me. Bye from Darren. And we'll see you in the next devlog.
See you guys.